welcome to another Coming Up Milhouse. It is October, so you know what that means. We will be reviewing Treehouse of Horror all month long.
And this year we are starting with the season 6 Treehouse of Horrors, because last year we did the season 2 through 5, which is actually Treehouse of Horror 1 through 4.
Right.
6 starts us off with Treehouse of Horror number 5.
Roman numeral V.
Roman numeral V. And as you can see, we've donned, well, Veer's in my way, but we've donned some costumes, and we will likely do more as the month progresses.
Right. This episode was aired in 1994, the good old year of 1994, and it features 3 excellent episodes.
Right, very good.
Do you want to tell a little bit about each
Sure,
segment?
so the first one is called The Shinning, and it is a play on The Shining.
You don't want to get sued.
Oh, no, I said Shinning. I said Shinning. And the other one is called Time and Punishment, and that's actually a play on the Ray Bradbury Butterfly Effect story. It's a good one there. And then the third one is Nightmare Cafeteria. Will there be some strange eats in the cafeteria? We will talk about that, I'm sure. So, how do you want to do this? Do you want to do lines and stuff like normal? Or
Yeah, let's do lines.
All right, well, what's your first line?
What's that, boy? We're in control? Hey, look, I can see my voice. We're hey, it's my voice on TV.
Dad, you're ruining the effect!
That was the opening credits, so.
Outer Limits. You
Yeah.
gotta love it.
Can't go wrong with that. What about you?
You stay here until you're no longer insane. Chili would be good tonight. So, of course, Homer goes crazy and starts attacking everyone. Marge throws him in the pantry. That's what she tells him. But hey, chili would be good.
Which Marge has some super strength, because she just sack of potatoes Homer and tosses him into the walk-in freezer pantry at the mansion. It was pretty fantastic.
It was. Absolutely. What about your second line?
So my second line comes from the first segment as well. So the gist of that is the Simpsons family is going to the Burns mansion to be winter caretakers, and it's a creepy old mansion up in the mountains, and they're getting the tour, and Burns says, "This house has quite a long and colorful history. It was built on an ancient burial ground and was also the setting for satanic rituals, witch burnings, and 5 John Denver Christmas specials."
Yeah, I think that would unleash the evil gates if that combination was really in one place.
Slightly haunted. Previous caretakers may or may not have gone a little insane.
Nice.
What about your line 2?
I'm going to go with the second story, Time and Punishment, and it's, "Stupid bug! You go squish now!" So, of course, Homer builds a time machine out of a toaster, and he goes back in time to the dinosaurs, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to kill anything or I'll affect the future," and then this mosquito flies around, and that was his reaction.
Stupid bug!
Stupid bug! You go squish now!
Which I have heard you utter when mosquitoes have landed on you.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta say that when mosquitoes are on you.
And what about your favorite scene?
So my favorite scene, again, is from Time and Punishment. It's the very beginning of it. And it's Homer's, I don't know the exact lines, but he's sitting there and the family's eating breakfast, and he's postulating on how great of a day it is. "Oh, it's a beautiful day, and the sun is shining, and I'm here with my family, and everything's great." And then Lisa's like, "Dad, your hand's stuck in a toaster!" And he comes up and there's a toaster on his hand. And he's like, "Ah," and he's smacking it all over the place. "Get it off, get it off." And then he gets off.
Sparking.
Yeah. And then he's like, "Ah, calm down, it's off." And then Bart's like, damn, it's stuck in there again. And he's smacking the toaster around. And he had to fix the toaster, which led to it being turned into a time machine.
Right.
But the smacking the toaster because his hand was stuck in it. It's
Not once, but
classic. Very good. What about your scene?
My scene is also from the second segment, and it's when he's back in time with dinosaurs, and he has to have a flashback of, remember what my father told me, the advice my father gave me on my wedding day, and then that flashbacks to Abe dressed in a tuxedo, and Abe's advice is, if you ever catch yourself back in time, make sure you don't change even the tiniest of things. And just the fact that was even possible advice on one's wedding day was pretty grand. The flashback was great. So, yeah, do you have a bonus line?
I do have a bonus line for the third vignette, and it is from Ooter, and he goes, "Lunch lady, please do have another sloppy Jimbo." So, of course, Skinner gets the idea that, man, we're running low on money for good food here, and we got all these kids that are bad. He figures out he can turn the delinquents into food.
Right.
And the first one to go was Jimbo, the bully. And he turns him into, apparently called Sloppy Jimbos. But then Ooter gets turned into Ooterbraten.
Ooterbraten. And they have an Oktoberfest.
Yep.
To celebrate Ooterbraten. Well, it's a funny tie-in because my favorite line from that segment is, "Oh no, my favorite outfit!" And it was Jimbo. And Jimbo's always wearing the same Punisher shirt and hat. But lunch lady Doris spilled some goo on him because he, tripped her. And so she dumped the bucket of circus grade goo on him.
Yeah.
And then Skinner tasted him and thought he tasted pretty delicious, which starts that whole... So, who's your winner?
My winner is Mo, because in the first episode, Mo's a ghost, and Homer wants a beer, and Mo's like, "No, you can't have a beer until you kill your family." And he's like, "Why?" And because, "Well, your family would be happier as ghosts." He's like, "You don't look happy." And he's like, "I'm happy. I'm very happy. La 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 la." And then in the second one, the time and punishment, he gets a piece of brain clipped out in a jar, and he's like, "Oh, why don't they let you keep it?" And he looks pretty happy and content with that. So he was a happy ghost and a happy lobotomized dude.
It's
so
true.
There it is.
There it is.
What do you got for me?
Well, I was originally going to go with Burns' attack dogs because they show up in the one segment in the time and punishment segment, but I'm going to go with Ned because Flanders is the unquestioned lord and master of the world in this segment.
There he is.
He'll be my winner for this episode.
What's that geek Flanders doing on TV?
Pretty great.
Oh, man.
And what about your loser?
My loser is Willie. Willie! Because he gets an axe in the back in every single one of these stories.
That's true.
Yep, and he just can't catch a break. He's always thinking he's going to go in and save the day. Instead, he gets an axe on the back. Every single one. Willie did not have a good episode.
Not at all.
What about yours?
I'm going with Ooter. Ooter is really, whenever I think about this episode, Ooter is the one that comes to mind with the Ooterbraten. And, everybody's wearing their lederhosen and walking around the cafeteria having an Oktoberfest.
And did you notice there was, in the other story, the time and punishment, the dogs were chasing Homer and he pulls out a bunch of sausages and he's like, "Oh, this will help." And you think he's going to throw the sausages to the dogs. Instead, he says, "This will give me the energy I need to outrun them." And he eats them and he runs on. So I wonder if in another dimension, that was Ooterbraten.
It could have been. It really could have been. Because Homer was bouncing around all sorts of timelines in that segment.
Yeah,
so
he might have.
It really could have been.
Think about something to think about.
So, This was our first for 2021 in October to cover Treehouse of Horror. And we will be covering season 7's episode next week, which will be episode 6 for Treehouse of Horror fans out there. So give it a watch. Give this one a watch. You can stream The Simpsons on Hulu and on Disney Plus and some other streaming services, or find it at your local library on DVD. And until next time,
Jiminy Jillikers!